All right, so you're learning how to play the drums and you're getting through a bunch of different eighth note subdivisions, and then all of a sudden you hit a brick wall. Doesn't make any sense, however, because of the fact that on paper it's the same thing you've been playing, but there's one little thing that's different. It's actually playing 2 consecutive bass drum hits in a row that start on an upbeat rather than a downbeat. Well, in this video, I am going to show you how you can do that so you can get over this hurdle and continue on in your drumming journey. What's going on, everybody? Nick Costa here, and welcome to this video lesson on playing 2 consecutive bass drum hits in a row that actually start on the upbeat. This video was made to supplement the article of the same subject at Drum Factory Direct, the world's largest retail drum parts supplier.
It's like a candy store, but for drummers!
Now, before we dive into this video, if you are viewing this on YouTube, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. That way you're notified of any additional content that I upload to the channel. So of course, as you're getting familiar with playing grooves, the very first one just has your kick drum on 1 and 3 and your snare drum on 2 and 4. Then you start to get a little bit further, maybe 4 on the floor. Oh, then you might start to play, okay, 2 bass drums in a row, but they're on a downbeat. Maybe this. Now all of a sudden you want to start playing 2 bass drums in a row, but starting on an upbeat. Now this may be difficult for you because of the fact that most of the stuff that you play all starts on a downbeat. And that's okay that this is difficult because this is part of the learning process. So in this video, I'm going to help you get over this hurdle. That way you can continue on with your drumming journey. So to get started, this first exercise, place your dominant hand on the ride cymbal, your non-dominant hand on the snare drum. That way you can actually incorporate playing the hi-hat with your foot, but you're gonna have to do with some different styles of music. So for this first pattern, you're actually going to be playing your bass drum on 1, the end of beat 2, and beat 3. Now to get started with this, if you've tried to play this before and you had a difficult time, you actually want to break down each beat and play them individually. Once you get each one down, which you should be able to do at this point, start piecing them together. Continue on with that pattern until you can play this groove for an entire measure. Once you get to that point, then you want to actually play the groove for 1 measure and rest for 1 measure. Why don't we go ahead and give that a shot? Play along with me playing the groove for 1 measure and resting for 1 measure at 60 BPM.
1, 2, ready, and...
All right, so now it's time to put this into context. So for exercise number 2, you're gonna play this groove, same exact one, for 3 measures, and then a drum fill for the 4th measure. When it comes to playing a drum fill, think about different ways that you can play. You can either play the fill for the entire measure, play just for beats 3 and 4, maybe even just beat 4. Whatever allows you to stay comfortable and transition back and forth from the groove into the fill, back into the groove. Let's give it a shot. This time, however, tempo is 95 BPM.
1, 2, ready, and...
So now that you can put this into context, there are 14 additional grooves that are in the PDF in the description below to just help you get more familiar with this concept. Once again, as you're learning these grooves, see if you can play it for 1 measure and rest for a measure. If you're having a difficult time, however, that's when you want to break it down and play each beat one at a time isolated and then piece them together. Then once you can do that, go back to trying it for one measure, resting for one measure, and then finally putting it into context. Now, although everything that you have seen so far in this video has the dominant hand on the ride cymbal, that way you can play the hi-hat with your foot on 2 and 4. You can play all of these grooves with your dominant hand on the hi-hat as well, and you can keep that foot down. So for this final playing example, I'm actually going to play through some of those grooves that are included in the PDF. I'm going to start out with my dominant hand on the ride cymbal, that way I can play the hi-hat with my foot. After I play the groove for 3 measures and then a drum fill, I'm going to transition and have my dominant hand on the hi-hat. That way you can hear the difference between those two. Once I do that, I'll move on to another groove and do the same exact thing. This time, tempo is 110 BPM.
1, 2, ready, and...
And there you have it, an introduction to playing 2 bass drum hits in a row that start on the upbeat. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll try and help out in any way that I can. Also, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. That way it can help other people find it a bit easier. And that is it. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hopefully you've gotten something from it. And until next time, see you later.